So the online GMAT, we were really happy when the GMAT first announced that the GMAT could be taken from home during this COVID-19 emergency, following on the footsteps of the GRE and the TOEFL. And now all the information about this online version of the GMAT has been released, and we can make a good evaluation about the exam. There are some benefits, but there are also some disadvantages. So if you want to know more about them, stay tuned. One of the benefits is that the online version of the GMAT costs less. It's at a reduced price of $200, so if you want to save some money, now it's the time to take the exam. Another benefit is that you're going to feel more comfortable taking the exam at home. You know your whole environment. You're the master of that environment. So if you feel more relaxed, that's going to help you have better performance in the exam and of course get a better score. So that's another thing to have in mind if you're thinking about registering for this exam. Another benefit is that the exam is going to be shorter because they're eliminating from this online version of the exam the AWA section, right? The analytical writing assessment, the essay. So basically, if you have problems with endurance, if sitting for 3 hours straight is difficult for you, this might be the time to take the exam because the exam is going to be shorter and you can have better performance. And now that's it for the benefits. Now let's talk about the disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that the GMAT will use a proctoring system like any other online examination, right? So if you are not acquainted with working with a proctor, right? The proctor is a person who evaluates, who basically makes sure that you are not cheating during the exam. You have to give him access to your webcam, so he'll or she'll be looking straight at your face during the whole exam, all right? So that might be a little uncomfortable, and also it's going to make things a little weird because they'll ask you, for example, they could ask you to move certain objects from your environment, so just to make sure that you're not hiding a sheet of paper with the answers in there. Also, they might ask you to take a mirror and show them your whole work area, so they are sure that you're not hiding anybody there that will help you out in the exam, all right? And this proctor is also the one who's going to evaluate your ID and other documents, right? So just make sure that you are familiarized with working with a proctor, or that you are okay with having someone looking at you straight in the face for over 2 hours. The second disadvantage is that the order in which you are going to take the sections is fixed. We don't know why, but in the original exam, in the physical one that you take in the testing center, you can choose which section to take first. You might choose to take first verbal or quantitative, etc. Here, on the other hand, the sections are fixed. You start with quantitative and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, that's it. The third disadvantage is that you are not going to be able to see your score immediately after finishing the exam. You're going to have to wait 7 days until they send you your scores. We don't know why this happens, all right? We've asked the GMAT on their webinar and they didn't have an answer about it. So that's all there is to it. You're not going to be able to know how you performed until they send you your score 7 days after you took the exam. And the fourth, and in my opinion, the greatest disadvantage for this online version of the exam is the WordPad. They don't allow you to use any type of notebook, of scrap paper, etc. to take notes on. They're going to give you an application inside the exam that you're going to have to open, and it's very similar to Microsoft Paint. All right, now, have you ever tried writing something on Paint? Of course, if you have a stylus like this one, it's going to be easy, right? But they don't allow a stylus, all right? So the exam doesn't allow the use of any stylus or pen tablet or anything like that. They just allow the use of a mouse, touchpad, or maybe the touch screen if your computer has a tablet built in. So overall, that makes it very difficult to take notes, all right? So that may be a huge deterrent for people to take this exam, because taking notes, it's a major part of the test, all right? It's very important for you to get a really high score in case you are just going, for example, through some difficult quantitative exercises. Basically, that's all there is to it. The GMAT has been very clear regarding their policy of only allowing note-taking inside their built-in application, and that could be a problem, all right? I'm being very honest. Now, what's my recommendation here? This exam will be available starting on April the 20th, all the way up to June the 15th. My recommendation is the following. If you are good at quantitative, if you do tons of mental calculations, if you don't need to take too many notes, then this exam could work wonderfully for you. All right, especially if you really need to take the exam right now. Now, on the other hand, if your quantitative is a little low, intermediate or basic, and you need to take tons of notes to come up with the answer, then I think you better wait for the testing center in your city or in your country to open up. Now, chances are that this whole COVID situation is over really soon. Who knows? Let's hope so. And in that case, the testing centers will reopen and you'll be able to take a physical, original, normal exam. So that's it for this evaluation of the online version of the GMAT. Just make sure that you know how it works before you register. Remember, never get desperate, alright? So I know a lot of people were planning on taking the exam in April or May, and all their plans have been derailed. But just be peaceful, be calm, and on these dark times will be over soon.